Good morning and welcome to the Morning Cup. It's 7. Okay, get that out of the screen. It's 7:51, 52. I've been up for almost 2 hours. Actually, I woke up apparently about the same time as my neighbor next door here, who finally showed up last night sometime because he was warming that vehicle up this morning. It actually died out and it's not that cold. The temperatures were a full 10 degrees, but they're actually the low temperature is supposed to hit later in the day or something. Okay, it's hard to. The only decent meteorologist around here is the Jewish Aggie named Zach Shields, trained in meteorology at A&M, who trains a lot of the meteorologists in this country. Remember, that's meteorology, not climatology. So it's actually right now outside, it's only about 38, 39 degrees. It's a full uh, 8 or 9 degrees warmer than what they predicted. That's because all that warm, moist air coming off the Gulf. I mean, is you know we're right on the line between the cold air, the really cold air, and all the moist, warm air coming up off the Gulf. I mean, literally a distance of 10. There's no more than 10 miles from the collision. But I did the right thing because he's confirming, and it's more accurate that this close. That the morning that I check out of this hotel, it's going to be 26 degrees. So tomorrow night's going to be rather chilly. And today we're going to get the first real sizable rain we've had in hmm, possibly in months because he's calling 100% rain with rainfall totals in around Austin and Pflugerville, Round Rock here of up to about an inch and 3/4. That means I'm going to have one sleeping bag tomorrow when I get out that's going to be soaking wet. It's only slightly exposed, but that's the way it works. But the other bag, the mummy bag, is triple bagged. It should be nice and dry for Saturday night. So actually, the wet sleeping bag should dry out real quickly because we're about to go into dry, cool, dry air. Uh, oh man. I think as soon as my neighbor woke up, something woke me up at, no, probably is my bladder. I'm an old man. Plus, I'm just used to not sleeping more than about 4 hours or so. The nights I get the best sleep is when I've had my pain reliever and stuff. The pain reliever helps to, even though I don't have urinary urgency or something like that, my body's just really good at dumping excess water. Anytime I take on more water than I need, it gets rid of it. Please, I know all about that urinary urgency. I've had prostate cancer 3 times. Know all about, urinating. I want to welcome one of my newest viewers. Thank you for your hostile questions. And one of the new commenters last night who apparently didn't subscribe or is a previous, I decided to kind of fuck with him a little bit. I gave him a bullshit answer and waited to make sure it got into his inbox, and then just removed his question and stuff. It's good morning, Skipper. Skipper means captain. People have nicknames that are a bit pompous. I'm never fond of them. I got a nephew who the people of Manhattan nicknamed him Duke, and it stuck with him. But he's not a Duke. He's a fucking puke. Yeah, I know my sister messed him up, put him up for adoption, that kind of shit. Anyway, today I gotta make the long hike to before the rain hits. The rain shouldn't hit until noon or doesn't matter. I got a rain jacket. You can see it right back there hanging over the sofa behind me. I guess you'd call it a sofa. Mm. But I've been drinking way too much tea. And I've been sleeping from exhaustion and actually just, anyway. Sometimes I go off on these tangents. That's the only thing I responded to with Skipper was that I'm disjointed. That's actually a psychological term. It's life is disjointed. Life is chaotic. In life, almost nothing goes as planned. So I reflect reality and stuff. This isn't some scripted show. There's not a lot of continuity in my content, but I don't care. This is, a vlog of me just, talking about and thinking about my everyday experiences, situations, and oh god, getting that freaking camera and getting that TV screen in there again. Yeah, more tea. It's only my second cup, I think. And it appears to have happened when the maid came or something like that. She tried to wash the tissue or something down it. I noticed this morning that the sink wasn't clearing good, and I started to pull up the deal, pull it out to clear it, and noticed that there was a tissue wrapped around it. What's your fucking problem? I sure as fuck didn't throw it in there, put it in there. It's a trash can right there. I'm pretty real careful about these hotel rooms because even on a credit card, they block off for damages, and then you'll get a charge, and then you have to dispute the charge and have proof. But I always do video proof. Every time I come into a room, I do video of it and take pictures of damaged spots and shit. Yeah. Oh God, I'm not looking forward to that long walk today. Last time they at least had a wood pile out front that I could sit on and have a cup of coffee and a smoke before going to the place where I could sit down. That was high enough. That was right in front of the YMCA, and that's when they were doing a major workover. That's actually about to walk over and sit down there and take a break would add about another 120 feet because it's past the little road where I'm going to take a left. I'm hoping to make the whole walk at once and doing it without the wheelchair for backup to be able to sit down if I start. But overall, my feet and knees and stuff and back are better than it was when I checked in. I did the right thing, especially weather-wise, because think about it. It's going to rain this afternoon and then start slowly working down towards 26 degrees Saturday morning. I guess it might have been possible. No, everything would have been just super laborious. I needed this rest badly. The money spent on this rest was needed. it's been really a full year, almost a full year since I had a rest period indoors this long. Oh, it's not painful right now. It's just weak and stiff. Uh, uh, John Lonzo, if you got a torn rotator cuff, good luck, man. There, at least you're. Oh, that's right, though. You had the. Depends on the state of your type two. Keep forgetting about that. They don't want to cut on people who've got type two because they're slow to heal. And John's medication was, at least in the past, John's medication was it went out of uh, manufacture, wasn't available on the market. It's an Ozempic. He said it started with an O, so he just those you hear that Ozempic. It's amazing how many people in this country get paid to sit around and come up with some of this dumbass commercials I've seen on this TV. Like the guy getting the mac and cheese bear hug, comfort food, and he's being hugged by a grizzly bear. People are stupid. A bear hug is a crushing hug. People have become so detached from the meanings of the words and phrases that they use that oh gosh. Anyway, I'm getting kind of a because I've always found people as they're almost as bad as people from New York City. But actually, I want to remind you that when I actually finally went to New York City in '88, I found the people friendly conversationalists and nothing at all like their badass movie screen appearance, image. Of course, like I said before, I think most of those people moved off to San Francisco and LA, but I've never really got along with people from SoCal. Got that SoCal mentality kind of thing. And now they're paying for that. The wildfires are still out of control. It's I'm just going to have to do a complete pivot here. Maybe let me put my leg up on the table there for that size. So shortly here, I need to bathe and shave and get dressed up and get ready to. I don't really have to. I don't stink. I'm not. It really is your diet that produces that. And it is the things you consume that produces that body odor. Or almost 15 or 14 minutes already. I don't care. I'm slowing down. Yeah, I know I'm in a real high traffic area, but that high traffic area, without me even asking for it, helped. Is part of what helped for me to pay for this hotel room. People think I'm doing it deliberately. No, I'm just not getting more than 150 feet from that flush toilet. Yeah, they don't get what they don't understand my thinking. They only think what they think, and they think what they think is Then I kind of woke up early and stuff because somebody in the, I think it's technically they're in the Atlantic time zone, posted a really rude ass comment. And I gave a full and complete reply. I got a feeling it's really my cyber bully picked up some, managed to acquire some old channel or something because there were just keywords in there. And there you go. That's a little better. I like to angle the camera down a bit because nobody wants to be looking up my nostrils all the time. Yeah, I'll be sleeping this afternoon. I got that. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. The question is will I go for my daily gorging? Yeah, I didn't even eat last night. One big meal yesterday was enough. And already the tea is kind of making me feel full this morning. I'm never hungry in the mornings because of the glaucoma and stuff. So I did it pretty good, but this rain kind of marks the end of this cold front, and the next low pressure system that's right there is part of creating the Santa Ana winds and the Southern California wildfires. It starts moving our way, and then comes the next round of cold air. I mentioned in previous videos that I knew even by the time I checked into this hotel that this week wasn't going to be the end of it, that it was going to be. But at least I've gotten, because, oh gosh, I've been staying away from AccuWeather because they're just they revise so. But that's the point. We're right at that point where all this cold air is colliding with the moisture from the south. We're right on that line. And while it's milder and stuff, it's still cold. They canceled school today in a couple of school districts. I think Manor and Leander, over that way towards Leander, they're expecting the icing or sleet. It doesn't really look like the sleet's going to get here, but that's what they were predicting. When I paid for this room, they were predicting sleet or snow today sometime. But it's been super unpredictable. Yeah, I know. I got the owl ears sticking up. So that's pretty much my day. Is I'm going to get my exercise in, go to 7-Eleven, and I'm not sure if at least now I know what to expect as the correct, it's $9.99 plus taxes for lunch over there. And, oh no, don't tell me. Please don't say I'm out of smokes. I'm not out of smokes. I just out of smokes at the desk. Well, let's try to do this in keep that TV out of it, or otherwise YouTube will cancel the whole freaking. Okay. Now reach in, and I think I only got one pack left. Yep. Finito. Might as well put this in the trash can. Keep the TV over there. It's funny. In the last month or two, I've literally watched about 1,000 people, foreigners, post slightly manipulated movies that sometimes don't stay up more than 5 or 10 hours and completely get past the processing, all the way that get past YouTube, and thousands or tens of thousands. Sometimes they'll stay up for 4 or 5 days, 12 days before it finally gets taken down for copyright violations. Often you have to be the copyright holder, or you have to go and look up the copy. If you want to complain, it's you have to then go look up the copyright holders on that movie and all that kind of shit and go through a ton of them. Okay, what's the good news? I don't think I mentioned it yesterday. Or did I? I did to my best friend though. I spent about 2 hours because I attempted it 3 times, and Google is prohibited from saving because I was using the Texas suggested, you know, concrete or, passwords, only to find out that Google can't save them. I can't use them for autofill and without a pen because I'm not used to writing. I got 2 pens that are in good, working, but I didn't have them handy when I was starting the process or opening an account first. So I've actually had 3 failed attempts, or had opened 3 accounts in my name with Texas benefits. And they're still pushing that healthcare thing. I don't get it. It still means I have to pick out some kind of insurance company, and I don't trust any of them. Before I do that, I have to go through and see which one has the lowest denial rate. And even these insurance companies, the way they operate on the drugs, because currently I don't pay any copays. That's the one thing I noticed about United Healthcare right off the bat. They wanted me to do copays on drugs that I've been getting for zero since day one. I hate all these scamming. It's just nothing but scammers and schemers, and people just because of the internet allows them to reach mass markets, huge markets. They only have to make a few bucks here and there times a million, several million, and it adds up to real money. Uh, uh, yeah, I've only been brushing my teeth once a day, and between drinking, I don't know what it is, but the coffee's coming out a lot. I think I got to figure because these cups have got to go. I'm pretty sure that PFA lining is wearing out. I want to move to my steel cup, but I'd actually have to. I think I'm just going to start making the tea on my stove. I won't even probably. I'll just barely maybe finish using up that bottle of propane. I'll still be carrying 2 bottles of propane. I just grabbed it because I thought I wasn't sure of the level, and oh gosh, I did it hastily because I was in pain. I was in stooping over, getting in the bags that are on the ground and stuff like that, moving stuff around, and it hurts. I think I've done it right because, like, when I go to the pharmacy on Sunday, I have my old ID, which they've seen so many times, and scanned in, and then I have the new. I have a paper until I get the hard copy from my friend who's receiving my mail and stuff, and so there shouldn't be any barrier because even though it says that the paper copy isn't acceptable as a form of identification. Well, the paper copy with the same pharmacist, with the ID that has the same, should be enough. She kept warning, well, after January 1st, and I'm actually glad I did it that way because doing it online, it was super cheap, saved me a lot of money going to the DMV, and you have to make an appointment at the DMV and all this. And it took relatively compared to getting my food stamp benefits. I don't know if they've received the application, but I probably will not get any food stamps till next month. But it would really help. But it better be that like $180 stuff or better. It's God, there's so much crap from the Biden-Harris administration that we're gonna still have to get past. And let's not forget Trump was part of that. Trump continued the Affordable Care Act and these grants and giveaways to people who are of low income and needed health insurance. But who's really profiting from that? Is it the people who have health problems, or is it the insurance companies? That's why I've said I'm really not for-profit insurance. It's a waste of, and they make their money by denying, full medical treatment. Sometimes the medical treatment, they're just, I don't get that shit at all. I just don't like insurance companies. We Jews consider insurance to be gambling. It technically falls under gambling. You're putting your money in with a pool of other people, and it's really no different than playing the lottery as to who wins and who loses. I'm sorry, my mouth is still so lazy. I don't like my pronunciations, my enunciation. I'm just trying to get psyched up because I know when I leave this room, I don't have a wheelchair to push in front of me in case because I dislocate at times to, park it, lock up the wheels, and sit down and wait until things get better. Yeah, it'll be a long time before I give up that wheelchair. It probably ain't gonna ever happen. The next step will be power wheelchair. And where Medicaid used to cover that in an instant, apparently now that I'm too old for Gen Z and their crowd, they consider me expendable. So far, all the authority types in Travis County and stuff, so we're just not going to know. The hospital will no. Normally they. Oh God, please don't get me started on that. Don't let myself get started on that. Anyway, I got a lot of shit to do today, and I think I'm putting off the laundry till tomorrow. They do have a laundry room here down there. You have to use your key card to get into it and stuff like that. But I've got a pill bottle full of quarters in case they're a quarter machine or something, because in case I don't want to have to go to the office to get quarters. I didn't bring any laundry detergent with me. I said I wasn't to. I would have normally taken the big container and poured some into, say, a pill bottle, and then put that pill bottle in a Ziploc bags in case it leaked. A pill bottle's worth would have been enough for the one load I need to do. But then again, my clothes are so relatively clean, all they really need to do is to go through several rinse cycles. The wash and agitation and stuff will get loose. Yeah, my clothes really don't get too dirtied up. There's not a lot of dirt in them and stains, or they don't really need. The only problem I'm having trouble with is that coconut oil. It definitely shows. If I spill, it doesn't come out. I'm on them like them khaki pants. It's I know I got the pair I threw away had a large kind of, but at a distance you can't even see it. It just was bugging me. You have to become. I'm going to finish up here now at 30 minutes. When you're homeless, you really, most people, they focus on they think about their body odor because they have a horrible diet. They have bad body odor, but that still falls under hygiene. But you can't cover up body odor with another odor known as fragrances. And I'm not out there walking all day long and all night long, mooching cigarettes and trying to buy and sell meth and shit and boozing all day and night. So I don't really get too dirty. It's, uh, and I feel pretty secure, especially since I've been there so long. That just the presence of my wheelchair there lets people know I'm coming back to it. I always do. And to leave my shit alone while I'm gone. I kind of didn't leave it, perfect, but because of the blowing the winds and stuff like that, I want to keep that rubber mat that I was talking about for my wheelchair. So I had to put one of my sleeping bags on that, and when I put a gallon of water on top of it to weigh it down for the wind to keep it from blowing, that's when it kind of opened up that pushing the air out. It kind of opened up the end of the bag, and yeah, that sucker's gonna be wet as shit. But it could dry in just 2 or 3 hours. And it should be, yeah, about Saturday afternoon. So anyway, we're still looking at another cold ass week ahead, and then after that, another cold ass week, and then maybe 2 more months of cold ass weather. Uh, Last year, see, going into this, I had quite a cash reserve from one generous donor whose real ultimate goal was to just convert me to Christianity. Show me how generous Christians are compared to us stingy ass Jews. Please, you're talking to somebody who risked prison twice to grow and provide pot for free to dying patients, cancer patients. Even one of them had HIV and stuff like that, glaucomics, people in chronic pain, to grow it and give it to them for free. And a lot of them abused my generosity. They would turn around and a lot of people just love that dealer thing because that's the only way they can get friends and capture people is go, hey, I got some good fresh green, man, home, come on over, man. And probably, process, get them high and then sell them some. And then they want to see me or say, hey, when are you coming by, So many people abused and profited from my hard labor of growing pot. It's super labor intensive to grow that stuff without pesticides and at the right time of year and stuff, winter, greenhouses. It has to be put up, new skin on the frame every year. And then going around and culturing is the correct term. The cultivating the plant correctly and stuff, knowing when to snip off the big leaves because they really only have about a 6 week run before they really stop producing food and stuff. And you got to know where to snip it off. You got to have it's really very complicated to produce good quality bud. Uh, I see a lot of these indoor growers and stuff. They're leaving the big leaves on there, which actually prevents it from getting any bigger or getting the buds getting, they just kind of go for quantity, small, short plants in large quantities and stuff like that. And overhead lights instead of lights at a 45-degree angle so that the plant will fill out with buds. It's a winter crop, people. And summer, it's rope, and winter, it's dope. So I don't like it when people pretend that they're the only generous when they're usually that money may have come from them, essentially robbing or other people. It's. I'm gonna let you go. 35 minutes is enough. I'm already fatigued, and I've been up for at least 2.5 hours or so by now. Uh, but yeah, I know I got to go today, and got to go before the rain hits. They're calling the rain at around 12 or 1 o'clock. It's going to cross I-35 here. Well, no, it's actually the rain's coming from moisture from the south, but it's going to start condensing and falling out of the sky in this area, right here on the freezing line, around 12 or 1, and it should be a lot. This may be the biggest rain in 3 or 4 months, and it still won't be enough.